There are about 3.5 million truckers in America. There are 10 million people in the United States who have the kind of commercial driver's license that would enable them to drive a truck. So that's a measure of the number of people who've already churned through this industry. So one of the peculiar things about trucks and trucking in America is that where every other part of the supply chain has consolidated and the big have gotten bigger, trucking is still incredibly fragmented. So small trucking companies, which of course is the majority of the freight that's moved in the US, they have a limited amount of leverage, right? They are selling their services on a market where the freight brokers and the shippers have all the advantages in terms of data, in terms of being able to set rates. And so those small trucking companies, it's very take it or leave it for them in terms of loads.
The name of my company is Avalon National, LLC. We're based in Casadega, New York. We're up to about 11 trucks right now and struggling like everyone else. The driver turnover, ours is getting higher now because we lost a few good drivers and we can't replace the good drivers that we lost.
We really had to work at making sure that our loads were paying well enough. Our drivers that were currently on the road were staying moving, staying busy, completing those loads, but also taking into account that, you know, they are human and have a family and everything at home as well. Hold on, this is the driver. Hey Rocky, it's Ashley. You're all set to pick up that load a little bit later. She said just, you know, work your magic and try to get over there when you can. They know you're gonna be a little bit late due to your drop-off time. Alrighty, drive safe. We've had trucks sitting for not having drivers, which, you know, is a big downfall for us.
You know, it's something I shouldn't be doing, but I should because I'm short drivers. Okay. So I'll drive the truck myself. It's that critical. I've owned a couple companies and it's a tough business to be into. There's times I can't even get back to sleep. I wish I could, but I can't. I just got too many worries all the time. To recruit more drivers, we've increased our pay to 71 cents a mile. That's very good pay today, 70 cents a mile. We're trying to get our benefits a little bit better. It's not the great cowboy experience it used to be. It's more complicated.
The laws, the regulations put you up against the wall to be able to meet not only your deadline or your appointment to get your load delivered, but now you're fighting the clock in order to have a place to stay safely at night. There's not enough room to park all the trucks on the road for a 10-hour stretch of time. So if you don't get parked early, you don't get parked. Or you can be like some of these guys that just pull over on the shoulder road, which is extremely dangerous to do. And I'll come fire up something to watch on TV, and I sleep generally about 7 hours a night. So by the time I eat and watch an hour or so of TV, I'm done.
New oven-baked dips are so new that we made a new commercial about their newness. Try new flavors like our cheesy marinara, baked apple, or hot melty pipes.
All right, give me a monster biscuit to go. I'm probably running as hard or harder than I've ever ran in the whole time I've been driving the truck. I'm 62 years old and I'm trying to last until I'm 70. Lord willing, my health holds up, I'll make that 8 years.
So the stakes here are incredibly high. The average truck driver is aging, they're not being replaced. If these dire predictions hold true, within a decade, we'd be looking at something like paralysis for the trucking industry.
This is really important right now because we're at this transformational period. We're moving from the big box supply store to increasing e-commerce shipments. And e-commerce is way more dependent on transportation than the big box supply chain.
The ease of shopping these days, online, Amazon, those kinds of things, where you get on your phone and you can, for Christ's sakes, literally buy your groceries. You're gonna get it one way or another. How much are you gonna pay for it? You know, how long do you wanna wait for it? In 2021, people are not real patient for waiting for what they want because they're so used to being able to click, click, click and have it on their doorstep tomorrow. But everybody needs to remember that no matter what you got, it got there via truck.
So when our USB charger is on a truck, its next stop is inevitably going to be some kind of warehouse. It's often, if you're talking about e-commerce, what's known as a fulfillment center.
Yesterday, we received in 15,154 units, 8 ASNs and 6 sellers. Come on, right up left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As with trucking, working a warehouse is a physically demanding job. And that's one reason that companies have problems with turnover and retaining workers.
We're gonna go to UPS. Take them with you. So we get another box for it.
You have to be fast, fun, and friendly. You gotta have your mind to it and not get distracted. When you have to lift boxes all day, it gets very, like, you be going home achy and you be like, oh, I'm so tired. Most days it's tolerable, then some days it's like, oh, it's draining.
Everyone knows how to make a box, right? Short and simple. So everyone knows this is the bottom of the box.
All of them are brand new. All of them were getting officially onboarded in anticipation of working either tonight or tomorrow night. People we probably reached out to yesterday. So you're literally talking from recruiting to onboard, being on the floor in 3 days now. And if I could go faster, I would.